Oh, what's up, guys?
What is up, everyone? My name is Doug Polk, and welcome back to Poker Hands. We're going to continue with the hot topic, which is William Kassouf in the World Series of Poker main event against one of my good friends, Jason Les. On that note, let's jump into the action.
There it is, big blind special.
You already look?
Wow, I already looked, yeah, I always look. I like to gamble with the nuts, that's fine. There we go, no shame in folding. You fold and show, I'll show. Look, how's that? How's that, Jason?
Down to the blinds.
You fold and show, I'll show. Big end. Jason. I said, if you fold and show, I will show. Because I got a big hand here. 150. I told you.
As usual.
Best hand.
Second best hand.
Remember last time you limped out a crap hand? I checked behind, remember? This time I got a much better.
Dude, I love this guy. 18 medicine, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, you had to spare 100 there. Yeah, makes sense.
Our hand begins with Jason Les limping into the pot with ace-2 of diamonds. In the small blind, you have a variety of strategies that you can play. Don't want to go too deep into each of them because that would take a while, but you can decide to either limp, you can decide to just only raise, you can decide to do a little bit of both. There are tons of good strategies out of the small blind. So I wouldn't say that limping in with ace-2 suited is necessarily the right play, but it is a play that you can make, and you probably need to do a mix of both things. Anyway, he limps in, and now Kassouf decides to raise it up with queen 10, and if you've been paying attention to your poker hands like we had before, I do not like this play for the same reasons I didn't like it against Greg Merson. When you raise with queen 10, the big blind facing a limp, what happens to you, what happens to you if you get limp re-raised? What happens if Les makes it 500,000 here? Well, now you're going to have a very difficult spot with a hand that can easily be dominated by a hand like aces, kings, queens, jacks, ace, king, ace, queen. I guess, of course, not dominated by ace, king, but you know what I mean.
Isn't that kind of the... Oh, fuck. I don't want to contradict anything this guy's saying, but isn't that kind of the point of playing a hyper-aggressive style? Like, you wouldn't say that to Tom Dwan, right? You wouldn't be like, now, I don't like Dwan's raise here because what if somebody re-raises him? But that's the thing. The person is never going to re-raise you unless they're sitting on, like, a premium hand, right? Because they know that you're a super aggressive player, so it's a big tell on their hand if they do re-raise you. Right? Isn't that kind of the point of the style? Ice wants to debate me. If he wants to, yeah, sure.
TFW, people still don't realize that if we never let chat build any combos, then Destiny will never stream and be forced to return to his carpet cleaning job. We have the power, chatters.
Sounds correct. Yeah, expert memes. Yeah, it sounds to me like this guy doesn't like that, or not doesn't. I don't want to say doesn't understand, but isn't in favor of that hyper aggressive style. So he's not in favor of that play as like an ABC play. But I feel like for this Kassouf guy, I feel like that's like he has to play like that, right? Like,
I mean, the point is, it's not a good situation, and it also opens the door for...
Because I think the idea when you're playing the hyper-aggressive styles, I think the idea is you want your opponent to be the one constantly facing the difficult decisions. That's what your goal is. You don't ever... By playing the hyper-aggressive style, it's the opponents that always have to make the difficult decisions. Because if they're leaning into you with bets, you know they have good cards. Because if you're hyper-aggressive and everybody knows you're hyper-aggressive, people aren't going to bet into you with shit hands, right? Because they don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So I think the point... I think that the point of the Kassouf playstyle, right, similar to like a Dwan, is you want to force them to make the difficult decisions. Or even classic like Brunson, Doyle Brunson, right? Yeah, even like the really classic aggressive style where you're constantly forcing opponents to make difficult decisions, right?
For Jason to maybe limp re-raise with a hand like ace-2 suited or some kind of ace hand or Broadway hand or whatever. So... the point...
If the guy has a balanced limp re-raise range, then you will fold queen 10 to a lot of bluffs that could otherwise play fine with a call. When you do raise, you want to have an easy decision, either fold a shit hand or continue with a really good one. Well, yeah, sure, Dang Voltaire. Like for ABC, I understand. But what I'm saying is like, I don't know, but the guy... What I'm saying is your table image influences the way that people play against you. And I don't know if people are going to re-raise you with less than premium hands, right? Do you think that? I don't know. That's how I feel. I could be wrong on that though. I don't know.
Point is, when you're in the big blind, you face limps, don't raise up with hands that are going to be confused against re-raises. You want to have a more polarized strategy with hands that if you do get limp re-raised, you're okay letting it go. Anyway, so Kasuf raises facing the limp.
I think if Kasuf got re-raised here, I think he would be okay releasing the hand. I think he would talk it up for a little bit, and then I think he would release it. Queen 10 off? Probably, right? Considering he knows his image. Wow, Demon New. Welcome to the 227 Club, everybody.
Calls, and let's see the flop.
Deuce 4, queen, bottom pair for less, top pair for Kasuf.
Try looking board, isn't it? Unless you've got spades. Let me have a look. I don't want to make a mistake. Nope, still got it. Still there.
I wonder if there's any other part of Kasuf's life where he does this, you know, like at the supermarket. Does he ever try to bluff a cashier?
235.
With 4 times the stack as Les.
Les having bad memories of earlier hands against Kasuf.
Not making a move. You show me your best card, I'll show you my best card.
If you have a more hyper-aggressive style that makes them more likely to re-raise bluff you because they know it's more likely you have an error/mediocre. Really? When I could be totally wrong. I totally admit it. When I watch like on Poker After Dark or when I watch the really aggressive players play, really I'm talking about Duan. When I watch Duan play, I can't remember very many times where Duan has to make a difficult decision. It seems to me that usually the people playing against him are the ones making difficult decisions. I guess like the classic matchup are all like the Helmuth versus Duan hands, right? Where it seems like somebody like Helmuth is more likely to go into the tank and have to like really think like, oh, I don't know, this guy could have anything, blah, 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 blah. Whereas Duan is willing to throw in a fuck ton of chips, pick up a lot of small pots along the way, and then when somebody does call him out, right? When somebody does re-raise him, chances are they have a good hand. It seems, right? Because if you know that somebody, well, because isn't that like the classic strategy? If somebody's playing crazy at your table, then the solution is to just tighten your range, right? And then you attack their wide open range with a very narrow one. Isn't that the general strategy? You know that there's a crazy cannon at the table. You tighten the fuck up and you play only premium hands, and you're ahead of them of a massive majority of their range, and you play those hands like strong and fast and hard. And then aren't you beating them in most hands? Poker After Dark only shows highlights. Yeah, that's true, Crazy Sid. That's definitely true.
When they're facing your bet, you're not allowed to talk.
I haven't said anything about that.
When you bet and he's thinking, you're not allowed.
Oh,
so if I hadn't bet, I'm allowed to talk then?
If he's not facing your bet, sure, talk away.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But when you bet and they're facing your bet, you're not allowed to talk.
I can't say anything?
Nope.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that's the rule.
I didn't know that was a rule.
Will has
It's not a
served
rule.
one penalty.
It's fucking
Main event.
retarded.
So I can give him a 5-minute speech and then think about it.
The flop comes Queen 4 Deuce, giving Jason bottom pair top kicker and the backdoor and a flush draw. It also gives Kasuf top pair middle kicker, so both players definitely got a piece of the flop. Jason likes to check here, which is the right play. If you limp in and decide to call a raise in the small blind, you want to be checking all of your hands here to protect your range. If he bets with some hands and checks with others, then when he checks, it means something and you want to protect yourself from giving away those kinds of tells when you're out of position. However, even if you were going to have some bets, a hand like this would be a very good candidate for check calling. You have some showdown value, you can play some turns on some rivers, and if you do bet, you're likely only getting your opponent off of hands that you would beat anyway. So I like the check here from Jason. Kasuf now decides to bet 235,000 into the pot. I like the size. I think it's good in a board like this. A lot of hands are going to have a tough decision, and I like betting with this hand as well. You know, when Jason check calls this flop, he's going to have a lot of hands like ace high, a deuce, a 4, and maybe a few queens, but some of the better queens are going to be raising pre-flop or might limp re-raise him as well if he has a hand like ace queen. So really he's only going to be behind a few hands like maybe queen jack or king queen if those hands did not elect to raise to begin with. So I like the bet, and he's definitely going to get a lot of value from Jason's check call range. Jason calls, and let's see the turn. But before we go there, I want to make a quick note in this hand. Kasuf is going to do a lot of chatting, and I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Doug, why don't you talk about what he's saying? You know, I'm not totally sure what his chat game's all about. I don't know if it's balanced. I don't know if certain things mean whatever. But I'm not going to take my time studying Kasuf in a bunch of spots to see like what his chat means. It seems like he's a bit of a chatterbox and he likes to say a lot of stuff. So we're going to keep it on the actual poker of the hand, and you can make your own judgment on what you think about what he's saying.
Actually, I don't like Will's talk when the other person must act. You've got to give them some room.
Norman Chad being the expert on giving people some space, you can ask either of his ex-wives.
Ace is up for less.
What was the point of that?
That was lucky, wasn't it? Let me get there. I think I was winning anyway.
Les checks the best hand.
Check and juice. Oh, you want me to bet? You want me to check? I have to ask you now, because once I make the bet, I'm not allowed to say anything, apparently. So I thought I'd ask the question. If you don't say anything, I might have to bet it. I think I'm winning now.
Jason Les just wants the ringing in his ears to stop.
Okay, just in case, gone.
Oh, checks back.
The turn brings an offsuit ace, and both players elect to check. I like this decision from both of them. Jason could maybe argue for a turn lead, being that he does have a lot of hands that contain an ace in his range when he elects to call on the flop. He could either go for a small sized lead with a bunch of hands, or maybe even a big lead with a few bluffs and some hands like ace-2.
Fuck,
But
this
check
is like a better
also
fade.
a very reasonable play, keeping his range quite strong with good holdings. I think Kasuf, despite all of the banter, has a pretty clear check back here on the turn. If he bets the turn, he's really not able to bet for value in the river. And also, if he does bet the turn, he's going to make a hand like a 2 or a 4 fold. And what is he really beating with Queen 10? He might be beating a hand like Queen 8 suited, but there's a lot less of those hands than hands like Ace X that could call a pre-flop raise, call flop, and then hit top pair on the turn. So I like both players' play here, and let's see the river.
River card. Oh, and Les fills up. Deuce is full for him.
And now is the time for Jason Les to bet the best hand.
Check to induce.
Holy shit, dude.
Well, I'm proof on the river.
What happened to the dream run with the huge compound? Oh, I won. We won it. Dude, he hates himself for this check. I know he does. I think it was a sick check, though. I think it was sick as fuck. I can't believe Kasuf didn't bet the river.
It's not a good card, it's not a bad card. Deuce definitely didn't help you. I don't think you're cool with the deuce.
The river is an offsuit 2, giving Jason Les a full house. Now, Jason has two options that are both good. In general, when you're out of position, you want to make sure to put some very strong hands into your check range in order to check raise. So, using that as my main factor, I like the check. But there are some things to think about here that might make this a bet. Our opponent's not really going to have a hand like an ace. I think that hand's unlikely to be betting the flop and then checking the turn. If he did bet the flop, I think he's going to continue with some aggression here on the turn. So, knowing those things, our opponent is really either going to have a queen, maybe a 4, or some kind of air. Now, the problem with checking against that range of hands is there's not many hands that want to bet there. If your opponent does have a queen, they might check because they're scared you have an ace and you're trapping, or they might get check raised, or there aren't really worse hands they can get to call. So maybe if he has a queen, like Kasuf has in this hand, you're going to miss out on value by checking. That said, putting some boats in your check range so if they do decide to bet a hand like a queen can be good. That way you can mix in some bluffs like a 4. If you think a 4 isn't good, you could turn to a bluff and check raise, but you wouldn't want to bet a 4 to begin with. So I like the check. I think maybe given what Kasuf's range looks like, a bet could be better, but both plays are definitely reasonable. So Jason checks, and it's over to Kasuf.
I don't think you're cool with the deuce. I think if you had a queen, you just got saved by the river, right? I'm hoping you got 4-5 suited. I'll be happy to see 4-5 of clubs.
Les may have left some chips on the table.
Wow. Nice catch, obviously.
Kasuf starts to do the whole banter thing again, but he actually does have an interesting situation. If I'm Kasuf and my opponent decides to check the river, I'm not really putting them on an ace. Because a hand like an ace that check called flop, check turn, is generally going to bet river trying to get value from a hand like a queen.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really look like Jason has a queen or an ace here on the river. It looks like he has a queen or a...
Hello.
What's up, Mr. Memeloid? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Destiny. How you doing, Matt? 41. Thank you, dude. I'm good, man. I
heard a rumor.
I saw that video where I got ignored, and I saw how.
Oh shit!
I saw the opinions that you said.
Oh, I remember that one
with the women, with the girl, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to say that. No, you're wrong. She was rude as fuck for ignoring me. I was not gonna flirt with her. You can't go around in your day-to-day life expecting every guy to flirt with you because that makes you a narcissist.
It's not expecting every guy to flirt. Do you think that if you're walking on the street, do you think that you owe everybody the time of day when you're walking by them?
I don't think she owes me the time of day.
But that's what you're acting like.
But
you're acting like that.
She's being a fucking dick, though. She's being an asshole, and that's not cool. Like 1 second to talk to me, you know? Why you got to be an ass?
But do you think that, like, if you look at you in public, when you're hanging out with a couple of friends, and do you have like a GoPro on your head or something, and you're holding your phone out?
No, I put my phone. I mean, I'm holding my phone up, yeah, but I mean, that's.
Do you have a GoPro on your head?
I did not at that point in time.
What were you taking video with?
My iPad.
Okay.
Had my iPad up recording, and I know that may seem weird, but in today's day and age, I mean, going around with an iPad and a camera is not a big deal.
I mean, like, I guess, like, this is my point of view, and I guess there are, like, no women in either of our audiences, but, like, if you're a reasonably attractive woman, if you're even, like, normally attractive, and you're walking down the fucking street, and a bunch of guys are, like, trying to flag you down, or like, hey, I need some help with this, or whatever, and you just want to fucking go home, I don't see the big deal of just walking past. Have you ever had somebody try to engage in a conversation when you didn't want to, and then you start doing it, and it's, like, impossible to leave? Like, I don't know.
What do you mean? I'm not gonna hold her down.
But she doesn't know that. But she doesn't know that. But she doesn't know that, dude.
Dude. We were on the busiest street in the city. There was people all over the goddamn place. I'm gonna hold her down right there in the goddamn middle of the street. What are you talking about?
No, it's not about holding anybody down. It's about, like, tying somebody up in a conversation that they really have no interest in being a part of.
Oh, I mean, if you don't want to be a part of the conversation, you could just walk away.
That's what she did.
Yeah, but after you give me directions.
But she didn't. Maybe she didn't want. But a lot of guys will use shit like that for like a fucking pickle. Like, yo, hey, could you give me some directions? Like, oh, cool. You really think that's a cool place to eat? Like, oh, cool. Have you ever been there before? Like, you know, like people fucking chat you up. Like, maybe she just had no fucking interest. She just wanted to go on and just keep going. She's like, I don't.
Some kind of beta? No, if I want to go out with a girl, hey, baby, you looking mad good.
Listen,
right there.
okay,
What's up? I'm not gonna be like, yo, where the mall at? Want to come with me? No, fuck, that's stupid.
You keep bringing up like the specific, like exactly what you're going to do, but she has no idea, right? Do you understand? She has no fucking idea what you're gonna do. Maybe you are somebody to fucking. You're gonna try to tie her up with like a 50-hour fucking conversation. She doesn't know that, dude. You know how you would have acted, but she doesn't know how she's gonna act.
Thank you,
right.
Bruh. She was ugly as a motherfucker, dude. What you mean? I mean, not only that, but I mean, like, if you, all right, yo, you're the girl. Hey, excuse me. Do you know where the mall is? Yes, it's that way. Hey, do you want to go with me? Then she can walk away. Okay? Because
I guess like the problem is like I don't feel like anybody owes you the time of day, right? Like if somebody's walking by and you call out to them and you're like, hey, can you help me with this? Like they don't owe you fucking anything. They don't owe you a conversation or owe you the ability to help you. Like if you really need help, you want somebody that owes you something, find a fucking police officer. Like. And the fact that your friend like made that comment afterwards made it sound like all of you guys were salty as fuck afterwards, which made it seem like she was probably in the right for just walking away. Like, oh, that bitch, like what you're saying now, like, oh, that bitch was ugly as fuck. How? That bitch was ugly as fuck. Why do you care if she's ugly as fuck? I thought you were just asking for directions. Why are you even bringing up how she looks? Like,
because I was never going to be like, yo, baby, I'm not going to flirt with some ugly
okay, but she doesn't know that. But she doesn't know that.
But she, I mean, she gotta know she ugly. Come on.
But I mean, well, didn't you try to kiss that girl? Aren't you missing an eyebrow right now, dog? Like, come on, let's be real.
Oh,
let's be a little.
I didn't try. I did kiss
let's
her.
be a little realistic at the moment. Let's be a little real at the moment, okay?
What do you think about me kissing the girl last night?
I don't even want to comment, dude. I don't.
No, come on. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about your guys' fucking history or whatever. So.
I just met her.
Okay, you didn't just meet her because I've seen you talk to her in videos in the past.
We talked slightly.
You're lying. You just lied to me, dog. I just caught you in a fucking little lie.
No, I don't even talk to her.
Dude, dog, I saw her give your friend her fucking phone number before, dude. I saw that fucking video. You lied to me, motherfucker.
After the third time, I'm allowed to kiss a girl.
I don't know, dude. I don't even want to. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't want to comment, dog. I don't know. I don't know your guys' history.
All right, so if I want to get directions from somebody who's not a police officer, because there's not a police officer around every corner of the street, how do I get directions?
You can try. I don't know. Do you have a fucking? You're holding 2 phones. You got an iPad and a normal phone. You can't look up a fucking map.
And that's exactly what's wrong with the world in today's day and age. Everybody's antisocial as fuck, wanting to use their phones and the internet to figure shit out instead of going out, being a human being, and being social and talking with others.
Where do you draw the line? That's what's wrong with the world today. Everybody goes to stores to buy food instead of going out and hunting for it. What do you mean? Yeah, obviously we use a lot more tech today than we did before, but I mean, that's kind of how society has developed. Like,
you can't even compare the two.
Why can't I? What do you mean?
Eating food is so you can live. You don't need to, go talk to other humans to live, but it's like a good thing to do, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure she does. You don't know she talks to other people. Maybe she has a really healthy social life. Maybe she just didn't feel like talking to some random dude with a giant fucking iPad pointed at her, asking for fucking directions when she knows there's like 15 different MapQuest, Google Maps, Yahoo Maps, Apple Maps that'll fucking show the same fucking thing he's asking.
You know, if people take that, if people just do that for the rest of their lives and say, oh, you got your phone, don't even ask me for directions, and by the time 2020 comes, you know what we're going to be living in? A fucking matrix where everybody just walks around face down, looking at their phone, barely talking to each other. Nobody's going to have any friends. Nobody's going to have a girlfriend. People are going to be antisocial. We're going to see others, and we're going to lose contact, and we're going to be like, okay, fucking, I'm just going to ask Siri everything and then put my dick inside my phone because it's the only girl I can fuck.
I feel like you're extrapolating a little bit.
How can you say so? How can you? Don't you like what does people in the chat think? I mean, don't you?
I don't want to. Why would I want to take? You can, but you're presenting me false dilemmas. You can talk to other people and still not want to give a random fuck on the street directions when you don't feel like it. Like, you don't have to do that. That's all I'm saying, dude. If somebody doesn't feel like they want to give you directions or want to talk to you, they don't owe you the conversation. Like, I don't feel like that's that unreasonable.
They don't owe me the conversation.
Yeah, you're making it.
It's a dick move. She could at least say, sorry, you can't talk. She didn't even look at me, dude. I'm like a fucking creature to her. She walks by, doesn't even look.
How are you a creature to her? She didn't look at you. She wasn't mean to you or anything. She just didn't want to.
What do you mean? Wasn't mean?
She didn't want to talk to you. That's it.
I'm not even a human to her. She's fucking above
She just didn't know. It's not
dude.
Above you. Why are you turning into such an ego thing? What the fuck? Where's your self-esteem at, dog? She just didn't want to talk to you. That's it.
No, she's a stupid slut. I don't care.
Oh my god.
No, I'm sorry, dude. I got into it. No, but I'm saying, like, it's just not fair, dude. Like, if everybody lives that way is what I'm saying. If everybody...
But the problem isn't that everybody lives that way. You literally make a living doing internet shit. You talk about being social. You make a living talking to people through a computer screen. But now when a girl doesn't talk to you, after calling her ugly twice, now you're saying, well, I just wish people were more social. It seems like your motivations are a little bit skewed. No, you're not. You're presenting them a little bit disingenuously, you think? Just a little bit?
Well, that's a little bit false, considering half of my streams are social eating where I go out and talk to people. But yes, you're right. I do actually work on the internet and talk to people through the internet, but that doesn't mean that I can never talk to anybody else for the rest of my life.
But you're not. Who knows if she talks to other people? Maybe she does.
Your microphone. I don't need. What'd you say? Your microphone fucked up.
Ah, fuck. Maybe she talks to other people. You don't know. Just because she didn't want to talk to you there doesn't mean that she never talks to other people ever.
But I'm saying, all right, so Destiny, if you ask, so do you ask people for directions? Do you ask people for directions?
Not. I mean, I've talked to strangers before. Yeah, I would talk to people because I normally do because I'm a polite person. I normally would talk to people. However,
is talking to strangers a bad thing?
I don't know. It depends on the scenario.
If you don't talk to strangers, how the hell can you meet new people?
You don't have to talk to random people on the street trying to flag you down to meet new people. You can meet new people at work. You can meet new people through mutual friends. You can meet new people through fucking school.
How would I do that working on the internet?
Dog, you have access to thousands and thousands of people to meet constantly via fucking Twitter, the internet, via conventions, via going out and meeting up with fans. You don't have to meet random.
What if I want to meet somebody who doesn't know that I stream? Because obviously, if they know that I stream, then their perception of me.
I don't know. You've got Tinder, OkCupid. You've got 50 million different online dating apps. You could go out to the fucking bar. You could go out to the bar. You could go out to the club. What do you mean? There's tons of places to go. You don't have to. Like, everything that you're saying is just reaffirming my point that you're trying to like get with this chick. She doesn't want this.
Your microphone is like fucking up, dude.
I don't know what to say. Fuck.
Is it my headset or is it his microphone? Hold on, let me see. Can you guys in the chat hear him fine? Hello?
Hey, what's up?
No, your microphone's like AIDS, dude. It's like it keeps cutting out. I can't even hear you.
Do you have TeamSpeak?
I have Discord.
Fuck.
I actually I do have TeamSpeak. No, I don't. I gotta fucking download that shit. That's so weird. Let me call you back. Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
All right, that's good. All right, so back when we were saying.
Listen. All of this stuff that you're talking about, wanting to meet new people and all that shit, all you're doing is proving my point that you weren't just asking her for random directions. You wanted to have more of a conversation with her. She wasn't interested. So it sounds like she was like, she did herself a favor by avoiding you guys on the street.
No, what makes you say that I wanted to talk to her more? I mean, maybe I would have, but I could easily read body language. If she wanted to go do something else, I'd be down to doing something else. You know, I would leave her. I'm not going to force her to stay with me. She's going to walk away. I'm not going to follow her and be like, get the fuck over here. I'm going to let her go, you know?
Yeah, but she doesn't know that, dude. Do you not understand that she doesn't know if you're gonna try to sit there and keep her in a conversation or fucking chase her down or some shit? Like,
okay, I don't know when the fucking nuclear war is gonna happen, so I'm gonna spend my whole time in a nuclear fallout shelter.
do you think that the things that you give up by living in a nuclear fallout shelter are comparable to the things you give up by not approaching random strangers on the street for conversation? Do you think that's a fair comparison?
To be honest, I kind of do, because if you don't talk to anybody on the street,
you don't know if she doesn't talk to anybody, though. You're making all these assumptions. Because she wouldn't talk to you one time, you're assuming that she doesn't talk to anyone ever.
But if she didn't talk to me, then she probably doesn't talk to anybody.
How do you know that?
Because why would she not talk to me? What?
Because you're a weird dude. It's fucking night out. You've got two friends with you. You're asking a question that could be solved using fucking apps on the internet.
She doesn't even know that.
She doesn't know.
I said, excuse me. She can't walk in. She doesn't know what else gonna say.
I'm pretty sure you said excuse me and then asked for directions as she was walking by. I'm pretty sure.
And you can't say it was night. We were on the busiest street in the fucking city. There was tons of people around us.
Maybe she just
all over the place.
Yeah, but maybe she just wants to go home, dog. Maybe she just doesn't feel like dealing with any extra fucking bullshit and she just wants to go home.
And that's what's wrong with today's day and age, bro. That's what's wrong. People just want to go home.
All right.
So you know what? I hear you're voting for Hillary.
I'm probably not voting at all, but if I were to, yeah, that'd probably be the one.
Tell me, what the hell's wrong with Donald Trump? If you voted for Hillary, I know that you are misguided as fuck.
Okay, why am I misguided?
Because Hillary is a fucking criminal.
Yeah, she probably is.
Hillary is a criminal and an SJW fanatic, and that's what's wrong with today's day and age. You know why? Because social justice warriorism is becoming, it's coming too far. What do you like? I had this one conversation on Twitter with this transvestite woman or something, and apparently I said that it was a guy because it had a penis, but he told me that he was really a female because he motherfucker said I look at myself as a female. I'm like, no, you got a penis, you're a male.
Do you want me to argue about the legitimacy of transgender people? I feel like this isn't an argument that's gonna be very fruitful.
I'm just saying, if you have a penis, you're a man. Is that correct or is it not?
I don't know, dude. There's some crazy shit going on now. I don't know, dude. I feel like this conversation isn't very fruitful. I don't think much is gonna come from this.
Oh, I know. Well, obviously not much is going to come from it, but I'm just trying to, I don't know, man, just prove that I'm a better debater than you.
Smaller than the diagram.
Well, I mean, what do we debate? I mean, we're not even technically the ones that should be debating this, right? We would have to consult, like, psychological research and shit. I don't know. The transgender exists in the DSM-5, so what do you want me to say?
Okay, well, the thing is, I'm just saying, like, people like SJWism, this goes back to Hillary. SJWism is becoming way too. It's getting way too far, because in today's day and age, if you go to the bar, you don't know if you're taking home a guy or a girl, because they could say they a woman, but they got a dick.
How often do you think this really happens?
It happened to me, bro, a few times, dude. I happened once, and then the other times I do crotch checks to make sure it ain't gonna happen again.
Are you going to, like, transgendered clubs or transgendered bars? Don't they normally have, like, their own bars and clubs that they stick to?
No, they motherfucker, because the transgender women, they want to go and get with a straight guy. Because, like, that's like their shit. They like, yo, I'm a fucking straight guy tonight. And they go to the regular bars and they try to, you know, trick us. They fucking witches. They try to trick us.
You realize that, like, transgender people are subject to probably more violence than, like, any other minority in the United States. Do you really think they would go out of their way to seek people that would be more likely to subject them to violence? It seems like an unlikely thing to me.
That is absurd dude. What are you thinking? Because the thing is, if we don't know that they're a transgender, then how could more violence come to them? Because nobody knows anymore, dude.
Okay, but if
because
you
of
take a
surgery
guy
and
back,
hormones.
but if you take, wait, that's not how any of this works.
What do you mean?
So you're talking
Surgery
about
and hormones.
You're
can
talking
turn a
about.
man into a
So you're
woman.
talking about post-op transgendered people that are passing, like and have functioning body parts and everything.
I'm talking about guys who dress up in woman's clothes and take the hormones.
No. You're okay. Hold on. You're talking about like very. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Okay.
And they take the hormones, dude.
Okay,
and they have tits, but they got a dick as well.
Well, okay, so then they are not passing. So then you would know if you're talking to a transgendered person because when you would go to fuck them, they would have a penis, and you thought
Exactly.
Okay, so
but why should I have to get to that point beforehand?
Okay,
Why-
okay, whoa. Because what I said earlier was I don't think a transgendered person would put themselves. Fuck me, dude. I don't think a transgendered person would put themselves in this situation willingly. Do you understand? Because when they get back. But then you just said, well, how would you ever even know? I don't think it's happened to you multiple times. There's no possible way, dude. I don't believe it.
Dude, it's happened, bro. I thought it was a girl. It was a motherfucking guy with a dick, dressed as a girl. With a goddamn, you know, said, hey, how are you? Fucking fuck, you know, and all that shit. It's like, why the hell should I have to go and take their pants off? Because, you know, by the time I get to that point, I've already made out with them, you know, and done crazy junk like that. So, I mean, why should I have to get to the point of taking their pants off after getting to second base?
I don't believe your story. I can't continue. I don't know. You're telling me that you've ran into this issue multiple times with somebody that represents less than 1% of the population. Like, I don't believe you at all. Like, I'm 99% sure.
How is it less than 1% of the population? Literally any city you go to, you can find guys just as female.
What kind of an argument is that?
Therefore, it's not less than 1% of the conversation.
Well, you got me, dog.
Whatever the fuck.
Can you go look up? Can you go look up a stat and tell me how many people are actually like hormone taking transgenders? Like, what are the percentages of the population? Just Google it. Just Google it. What do you mean it doesn't matter?
You gotta condense the percentages down to city, and you can't look at something as like a nationwide thing because we don't all live in, you know, we don't go all over the country to go at the clubs and stuff. We stay in our one city. Therefore, you gotta condense it down to one city per capita.
Okay, can you look up the transgendered statistics for the city that you live in? Then I'm very curious.
Yeah, let me see here.
All
Let
right.
me Google that.
Yeah, sure.
Let me go. Stewart, Florida. What do I type? Transgender population. I don't know if I can Google that shit. 4.2% of South Florida residents are LGBT.
Okay,
But
well,
you have to consider it like this. 4% may not sound like much. My city has less than 100,000 people living in it. So therefore, less than 100,000 people living in my city, 4.2% now becomes more of a problem. You know, not problem. It becomes more of it's more there. You know what I mean? You got to inflate that number to less than 100,000 people instead of all of South Florida. You know what I mean?
can you hold on real fast? I'm curious. What does LGBT stand
Destiny, tap me
Motherfucking
and bro.
ass.
Icepoesideon is retarded.
Hold on, let me write down LGBT. Lady Gaga. Billy Tips? Listen, I don't fucking know, dog, to be honest, but I know it means motherfucking dude taking hormones and junk, homie.
Okay, LGBT stands for lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgendered people.
Okay.
So that 4% number is including all of the gay people, all of the bisexual people, and the transgendered people. It's not just trans. So that 4% number, also transgender people are the smallest minority of those four. So you have a minority of 4%. So it's even less than that.
The thing is, Destiny, here's the thing though. Why should I? Some people just have bad luck. There's something about my face that transgendered women find attractive, and I don't want to deal. I don't want to have to take their pants off to understand. They should just be open with me and tell me. And that's the issue that I'm having, dude. Like, I don't want to be making out with somebody and then feel that erection coming up my leg. You know what I mean? I want them to just be open with me. Like, I'm down. If you would,
I don't deny that. I'm not saying that would be a bad thing. Okay, but I don't think that it happens that often, dude.
It happened. If one time is more than enough, dude. It's more than one time. Like, that's it, bro. Ever since, like, all right.
Excuse me,
plane
and if
crashes,
I
for
have
example.
a camera
How
strapped
often do
to
planes
my dick
crash?
and face.
Not very often. But every time a plane crashes, something is always changed. Some new fucking rule is always added to the aviation industry to make sure it doesn't happen again, even though it's only happened once. Same thing applies here. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Exactly.
I don't. You told me this happened to you multiple times. Can you please admit that you were lying, that this has not happened to you multiple times?
Smaller than the diagram.
Do I look like a liar?
Ice, Poseidon,
Destiny.
tell
Destiny.
me, please, tell me that this did not happen to you multiple times. Admit this. I need to hear you say, okay, Destiny, I might have exaggerated a little bit.
Three
No
times.
way, dude.
3 times in total. 1 with a Filipino guy, and then 2 motherfucking just random ass dudes at the bar.
Okay, and where do you meet these people at? What kind of bars are you going to? Do you know?
I'm going to the bar like down the road, homie. What you mean, motherfucking the bar, homie? The motherfucking the next to the pool hall. I don't know, down the road.
And you're positive that you're not going to, like, maybe transgendered bars or bars for specific types of people?
I'm not going what the fuck? I'm not going to no transgender. I'm going to the bar down the road, homie. You got regular guys and junk there too.
All right, well, I don't know, dude.
I mean, Destiny, you tell me, dude. What is your ideal utopia?
I guess a social justice warrior cuck environment where we all can be transgendered together.
I know. So like I said, I'm down to have sex with a transgender, but I want them to be open with me. But that's besides the point. Tell me, because actually, let me ask you. Based on that video where I got ignored, why do you like? All right, from an outsider's perspective, why do you care so much that the girl ignored me? Oh, she ignored me. Whatever. She's probably, you know, what? Like, why do you have? There's no reason to go deep down and try to pick her brain and try to understand her reasoning behind it. There was no reasoning. She was just being an ass.
I just don't like the I guess I just don't like the way a lot of guys view women. It just bothers me sometimes. As somebody
Such as, what do you mean?
like the idea that like a woman owes you the time of day. I don't know, that just kind of bothers me. Like you guys seemed like super ultra entitled in the video. Like, oh well, I said hi to this chick walking by and she totally ignored me. This is some fucking bullshit. And then when your bro acted salty as fuck, like fucking the most virgin beta shit I've ever seen. Like, oh, when a fucking 3 out of 10 acts like a 10 out of 10. Like when he's acting so fucking salty. Like, I don't know. I guess it just kind of bothers me.
What if I told you he was joking?
It doesn't matter. What if I walked into a fucking what if I walked into a basketball game and said, oh look, that's all these niggas are good for is fucking playing, shooting hoops or whatever, and then some dude's like, yo, that's racist as fuck. And I'm like, dude, I was just joking, man. Come on, dude.
That is not the same.
It's the same. You only get laughs from things that you philosophically agree with. If I were to tell you a bunch of like fucking, if I were to find the most feminist jokes on the internet and be like, yo, look at these jokes, and you didn't laugh, the reason why you wouldn't laugh is because you don't agree with that particular ideology, right? The people that tell like fuck tons of racist jokes all the time are probably have a higher chance of being a little bit more racist than people that don't laugh at racist jokes. Do you not agree with that?
No! Saying, oh, the girl's a 3 out of 10 jokingly is not even
He
close.
wasn't saying it jokingly, though. He was salty as fuck that the girl ignored him.
Labeling people, what the fuck? No, you're wrong. You are wrong. You are so wrong, dude. You are so wrong. What do you mean? That's like comparing a NASA shuttle to a fucking Hot Wheels car.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I can tell, like, this is a fact, okay? Maybe not everybody is old enough to realize this, but you can tell what a person's particular beliefs are by the way that they get their laughs. That is a factual statement, okay? Certain people find certain types of jokes funny because they are certain types of people. Like, that's just a factual statement. Like, I don't even think that should be like that controversial. Do you not understand that, or do you?
I mean, honestly, dude, I kind of agree with you. Like, I really, like that shit. Like, words are just words. No. Words are just words. I get that. And I totally agree with you on that. I don't think anybody should ever get butthurt by words, but that doesn't. It's still not the same thing, though. That's ridiculous to think otherwise.
I don't know that if it's just ridiculous. You got me, dog.
I mean, do you think people should get hurt by words? Or
I mean, they can. Yeah, of course. Sure, of course people can.
But do you think then what do you think about that?
I mean, I guess it'd be nice if nobody did, but I don't think that's a very realistic expectation.
Right, but I mean, you're into that type of would you consider yourself a social justice warrior?
Compared to the average crowd on Twitch, yeah, probably.
Now, so as a social justice warrior, you should agree with me then that words in fact do hurt people.
Yeah, of course. I've already said that. Yeah.
Okay, but you just said but you don't want. But you said that's not ideal. But you kind of want that. You want people to not get hurt by words.
There are two worlds. There is the world as you wish it to be, and there is the world that you live in. Okay, you have to accept that both are two different things, and you can't treat one like the other. Otherwise, you end up delusional. Does that make sense?
Right. So you're basically pretending then. You're basically.
I'm not pretending. I see the world for what it is. Some people get upset when you say certain things to them. Do you disagree with that?
But you said you're a social justice warrior, but then you should say that. But you think that people should not get hurt by words. Therefore, you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah, but people do get hurt by words.
What's up?
People do get hurt by words.
I know, but you're saying people shouldn't get hurt by words, right?
But they do.
I know, but you're saying they shouldn't.
No, I'm saying it'd be nice if they didn't, but people do.
It'd be nice. I know, but they do. Therefore, you're kind of contradicting yourself, because how can you have this belief but think otherwise?
I don't know, dude. I guess you got me. I don't know what to say, dude. Like.
I mean, I'm not trying to get you, but I'm trying to make I'm trying to make a really good point, and I think
I don't think you're making a really good point. I think you're not understanding what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that it would be nice if everybody was able to shrug off people saying shit to them. That would be cool. It would be really sick. It would be a better world. But the reality is, not everybody is like that, and words do hurt a lot of people. Does that not make sense?
Right. So you're basically pretending just because of the reality that you live in, is what you're saying. You're pretending because of the reality that you live in. Because that's like me saying, okay, I want to, I don't know, I hate football, but I pretend to like football because all my friends like football. You know what I mean?
No, that would be like saying, I don't like football. I wish no one would like football, but I understand that there are a lot of people that like football. That would be the comparison there.
Destiny, you don't make any sense. You know that? You don't make any sense. You're trying to say something that you have a certain belief, but then you don't really have that belief.
Do you think that the world would be a better place if everybody was in better shape physically, better cardio, better strength? Do you think so? Do you think the world would be a better place?
I think the world would be a better place if
No, just answer that question.
No, the world would not be a better place.
You don't think the world decreases in obesity and healthcare or in heart attacks and diabetes and all these things? You don't think that any of that would be good?
We need a good balance. I know that sounds
bad. A good balance. Okay, but right now we don't have a good balance.
We need a good balance. We need a balance between people who are, unhealthy and people who are healthy.
Okay.
Think about it. Stop. If you think no, what the fuck? No. It's donations. If everybody was healthy in this world, then there would be an overpopulation problem, and then there would be all right, so for example, I don't know, business and shit. Money is what makes the world go round. What makes the most money in this world? The fucking medical industry, dude. If you take that out of the way, where the fuck do you get the money from?
Okay, so you think that the world is a better place when a lot of people have issues with obesity and healthcare related shit? Is that?
I think if everybody was healthy, then the world would just have a harder time. I know that sounds weird, but there'd be more competition. It'd be a more competitive world, and the more competitive.
Okay, I can't win, dude. You got it, dude. I can't. I don't know what you want me to say, dude. You-
the harder it gets to live. I'm
Okay.
telling you right. Don't. I mean, seriously, don't you think so?
No, I don't. I think that you're like reaching like really hard now.
What do you mean?
I,
How so?
Because I don't know, dude. I can't even like. So you're saying that the world is better. So then shouldn't more people go and murder each other so that like funeral homes and shit could stay in business?
No.
Don't you think it would be better?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Oh, no, it's not. That's not the same.
You're
dude.
saying
I'm
that
not
it's
saying
better
you should
that
murder.
that a lot of people are unhealthy because we don't want to have more competition for stuff?
No, because murder's illegal. Being unhealthy is not illegal. It's different. You're not gonna do any, because then everybody. if
Okay, so
murder
the
was legal, then
legality-
everybody would go around and murder each other, and that's not what you want.
Okay,
because
so
now
the
world's a
legality is
shithole.
like-
everybody's murdering each other. But if there are some people who are unhealthy, and then some people who are healthy, it's a good balance.
Okay.
It's a good
Do you,
balance. You know what I mean?
do you think we're at like a healthy balance right now in terms of people that are healthy and people that are unhealthy?
I'm a conservative.
What does that have to do with anything?
What's that?
What does being a conservative have to do with anything?
Your microphone's, fucked up again.
Fuck, call me back.
Hello?
Hey, hello?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, just call me back.
Yo.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah. There you go. All right. So what were you saying?
I-
Thank you, tryhards. So what were you saying?
I'm not even sure. What were we talking about?
We were talking. Are you a liberal? Are you liberal?
Probably. I mean, in what sense? Socially, I am definitely.
In the sense of liberalism.
What does liberalism mean to you?
It means you're a liberal.
Liberal, what? Economically or socially?
Socially and economically, because there's not a separate between liberals. You don't segregate liberals from liberals. A liberal is one thing. So
Dog, are we really doing that? Of course you separate. There's tons of differences between somebody that's socially and economically liberal. There are two totally different things. You could be socially conservative and you could be economically liberal. You could be economically conservative and socially liberal. Like, what do you mean? Like,
no, that's false. Think about it like this. I'm a conservative. I'm voting for Trump, motherfucker. But there are some conservatives that are voting for Hillary just because they don't like Trump. How could you hate Trump, but you're a conservative? You're not really a conservative at that point in time anymore.
I feel like you're everything that's wrong with like partisan politics in the United States. What? Do you know what conservative or liberal means? Can you tell me that?
A conservative? No, a conservative.